Elasticity is one of the most important tools we use when analyzing supply and demand. Elasticity simply tells us how responsive demand or supply is to changes in the market conditions. Today we're going to look at the elasticity of demand. First, let's examine the price elasticity of demand, which is a measure of how much the quantity demanded of a good responds to a change in the price of that good. Elasticity of demand is really important for sellers. They need to know how much demand for their product will decrease if they increase the price. Say Patrick is thinking about whether to raise the price of his oranges in the hopes of increasing his profits. Patrick needs to know if demand for his oranges is elastic or inelastic before he raises his prices. Otherwise, he might actually decrease his profits overall. Here, demand for oranges is relatively elastic. Quantity demanded has fallen significantly following the price increase. Demand for a good is inelastic if the percentage decrease in the quantity demanded is greater than the percentage change in price. In this scenario, however, demand for the oranges is inelastic, as Patrick hasn't lost that many customers by raising his prices. The quantity demanded doesn't respond strongly to a price change. The price elasticity of demand depends on several factors, such as the availability of close substitutes, how one defines the market, and the time horizon. There are other types of elasticities of demand as well. Take income elasticity. This tells us how responsive quantity demanded is to a change in income. As we can see here, demand for oranges has jumped after consumers' incomes have grown, so the income elasticity of demand for Patrick's oranges is high. The income elasticity of demand for a good depends on whether consumers view that good as a necessity or a luxury. Imagine that the stall next to Patrick's sells avocados. Avocados are generally seen as luxuries, so when income is high, people are more willing to splash out on them. But if income falls, demand for avocados will decrease as well. The demand for luxuries like avocados is income elastic, while the demand for necessities is income inelastic. This also holds true for price elasticity of demand. Necessities have relatively inelastic demands. Another type of elasticity of demand is cross-price elasticity. This measures how the quantity demanded of one good changes as the price of another good changes. Remember how we said oranges and juice makers are complements? Well, say if there's a big sale on juice makers, then this will obviously impact on the quantity demanded for oranges. Suddenly Patrick will see a lot more people wanting to buy his oranges. A change in the price of juice makers has resulted in a large change in the demand of oranges, a good example of cross-price elasticity of demand.